he wasn't able to get the big yardage like he did right there. Picks up 14 on that one. First down and 10, and here comes Marcellus Parker over the left side, barreling his way all the way up to the 48-yard line. And Marcellus, we talked about this when you were with me a couple of weeks ago, the fact that he's such a good dynamic back. They're using him as a fullback. He's doing a lot more blocking than he is doing running, but when he runs, he can do what he just did.
Yeah, especially against St. Charles last year in their 30-7 win. He rushed for 51 yards and had a touchdown, as well as 2 receptions for 10 yards. So obviously right now, this game, he's going to be a very pivotal player, and he's always a promising guy. As a senior this year, he's going to be very important.
Indeed he is. And he is back there ready to go once again. And in the backfield is Dylan Newsom, who's missed the last 2 weeks for the Hawks. He is set up back there as well, and they're going to pitch it to Marcellus, and he's looking for some running room, and he gets across midfield. And that's going to leave a third down and short. I mentioned Dylan Newsom is 5'10", 185 pounds. They haven't been able to utilize him for the last couple of weeks, and as you can see here, that gives them yet another running back to put in that backfield.
Yeah, the running depth that they have is definitely a strong suit for them every year. Just being able to do an endless carousel of just bringing in guys is just going to be very important to keep this defense on their feet for St. Charles.
Parker again up the middle. This time he's to the 45, and he will get tackled at the 44-yard line. Again, the chains continue to move for Bishop Hartley on their opening drive, the opening drive of tonight's game.
Yeah, this methodical drive so far is what it's looking like. Is already shaving off 2 minutes off the clock, and this is Hartley's MO. This is what they do. They get as much time off the clock as possible to get as many points.
Last week they threw the ball when they had to throw the ball. Sending Trey Saunders off the field right now, along with Andrew McFeeters. So a couple of changes here, and the official waved them off the field, by the way. So whatever the situation is there, Isaac Asdu comes in. And McFeeters is now back on the field, and Hartley's going to be forced to take a timeout. So I don't know what happened there to begin all of that, but it certainly got very confusing for everybody.
Yeah, definitely a little bit of confusion right there. Obviously, a timeout's a good call just to get everything regrouped and making sure you're on good bases, touch together.
And again, this is important. It is 3rd down and 3. You cannot make a mistake. A 5-yard mistake puts you in a 3rd down and long situation. So they just had to take the timeout to get it right. And now get ready to set up and probably pound the football once again here would be the thought, because that's what they have done throughout this entire drive, and it is working quite well. You mentioned about Marcellus Parker and the game that he had against his team last year, and as a player, you come back in the very next year, and you remember that. That's something you can play off of even in the first drive of the game.
Yeah, especially since most of the players that really made an impact for him last year, they were seniors, and so he was like one of the only juniors, along with Trey Saunders, who had a fumble recovery last year, who really made a mark in that game. And so this year I think they're going to be very pivotal players in this matchup.
All right, now they have everybody lined up on the line. Richard Kenny breaks into the backfield. They pitch him the football. He goes on the right side. A little hesitation there, and he is going to get his way all the way to the 40-yard line. Nice job by Richard Kenny. That's one of those plays where, Gino, you know it's coming. You see him break off the end and go into the backfield there. You know it's coming, but unless you can get through those blockers, you can't stop it.
Yeah, Richard's one of those guys that's also very important. We obviously know what he can do in the receiving game, but he also has 148 rushing yards this year and averaging 49.3 a game, so he's obviously going to be very important in the rushing game as well.
Picked up 5 there, 2nd down and 5 for Underwood. Again, man comes in motion. That's Johnson. They're going to hand it on the counter to Trey Saunders. Up the middle he goes, and Saunders trying to break tackles, and he almost gets free, but he's brought down at about the 21-yard line.
He's another one of those guys, too, rushing. He averages 7 per carry. He's going to be very important as well, given that endless carousel of running backs right there just keeps St. Charles on their toes.
At the St. Charles 22-yard line.
So another big first down for the Hartley Hawks here.
24 hand.
Underwood again, he's got Johnson as a deep man in this I formation. He's going to turn and hand it to him. Now on the right side, he's got some blockers there. And he will drive that ball forward another good 5 yards or so.
And just constantly getting those five-yard rushes right there. Just keep moving the chains is what Hartley's got to do to make sure they're in this game.
And again, this is a team that has already played 3 games this year. You've got St. Charles. They've had the one scrimmage against Eastmore, and it's not practice anymore, right?
Yeah, it's something that if you're Hartley, you have to take advantage of. Obviously, being under your belt, playing against teams like Moeller, then DeSales and Larson as well. They've had 3 really tough games so far. So you want to take this experience into this game and just make sure you take it to as much advantage as possible.
Isaiah Yarngo comes off the field late there. Giovanni Delfino checking in to the defensive backfield to take his place. Second down, looking at 5. They put a man in motion, turn, and hand it off to Johnson. He tries to go right up the middle, and a good job getting in there and making the tackle. Solomon Lissath coming off the defensive line, able to get a hand on the ankle there. So third down and 4 now for the Hawks. Deep in St. Charles territory, there's no guarantee that this wouldn't be 2-down territory for the Hawks. Again, taking their time. Hand it off to the first man. That's Marcellus Parker. He bounces off the first would-be tackler. And good job to get that one down to the 10-yard line. And that'll be a first down. In fact, it should set up a first down and goal.
That's a good job by Parker right there, just getting the yards you need, just to keep the chains rolling and not just going for the big play and getting a touchdown, but just make sure your team's just still in there for first down territories.
Yeah, and again, when you know your team is like it's 3rd and 4, hey, we're going to go for it 2 times here, right? You know you don't have to get it, but if the opening's there, you just go ahead and pound it through. Dylan Newsom checks into the backfield now. Gerard Bowens is back there with him. Parker is still on the field, lined up on the wing. And they're going to turn and run that one right up the middle. Gerard Bowens getting the carry there. He hasn't had many. He only had 1 rush on the year coming into this game. It's a big guy, 6'1", 215-pound junior. They can just send him right up the middle, which they did. Got that ball down to about the 5-yard line. Parker, the deep man. And they will pitch it to him. Marcellus Parker looking to find a hole, and he goes toward the goal line. And is going to be down at about the 1.
You can tell that Hartley right now is relying on Parker early in this game, obviously from the game that he had last year. But he's showing himself to be getting the yards that you need, and he's doing a great job so far.
Well, they say his knee went down at the 3-yard line. And let's see if they go with Parker again. They have him lined up in that tailback position. Underwood takes the ball, hands it off to Marcellus, and he puts his head down and gets into the end zone for the touchdown. A 3-yard touchdown run by Marcellus Parker with 5:52 remaining here in the first quarter. And Gino, that is just the way the Hawks like to draw it up.
Yeah, 6-minute, 8-second drive. Just really taking burning time off the clock and just relying on that running game and getting your big guys in there, just pounding through, getting the yards that they need. Definitely a vintage Hartley drive right there.
Ryan Hawk will attempt the extra point.
Ryan Hawk.
Ryan Hawk is, well, tell you in a minute here. Puts the ball up and through. He's been automatic all year long when it's come to those points after touchdown, and you never want to jinx him, right, Gino?
Oh yeah, but he's definitely been good for him so far. His first time being a full time after picking up for Mateo Agresti, who was tremendous as a kicker this year, or 2 years ago, and he's shown himself to be following in the shoes so far.
So the Hawks, nice drive down the field. 65 yards for the touchdown. Marcellus Parker getting a lot of the carries. Gino was talking about the fact that they used him as a blocker a lot in the last couple of weeks, but, that more than likely coincides with Dylan Newsom not being in the lineup the last couple of weeks because Newsom has been out there in a blocking role for Marcellus Parker. So it looks like he's going to be in a position tonight where he's going to get more opportunities to make things happen offensively.
Yeah, and you're already seeing it so far with that first drive, and I think that just shows how much of a team game this is right there. You got to have everybody in there so everybody can succeed and feed off of each other. And you see that with Marcellus and Dylan right there in that drive.
So it'll be interesting to see how this St. Charles offense comes out here. You got Isaiah Yarngo is one of the two men that is deep. Derek James is the other. So their two running backs, or I'm sorry, their two wide receivers are the deep men here. Will Hartley kick it deep? That's what we're going to find out in just a moment. It's a bit of a breeze here. It's a great night. It's a very cool fall night here, and the breeze that is blowing is to the Hawks' backs right now. So Ryan Hawk will kick it off from the 40. And a nice deep drive through the end zone. And a nice job by Ryan Hawk. You can see Yarngo there was rooting for that ball to carry out of bounds. Didn't happen. And so St. Charles comes out to play offense for the first time tonight. And they're led by the senior quarterback, Carter Bryant. 6'2", 210 pounds.
Starts at quarterback for St. Charles.
So he's a big boy. You can see over the line. There's no question about that. But, Gino, this is a team, they lost a lot of offense from last year.
Yeah, especially highlighted by Luke Eversole, who had over 1,300 rushing yards with 13 touchdowns. So he's definitely going to be missed for this in this offense.
Bryant takes a snap and hands it off, and the Hawks are right there. Trey Saunders was the first man in to make a tackle. So no room on the very first handoff of the game.
Handoff goes to Fred Lively.
Fred Nimley is the junior running back that took the football.
Loss of 3 in the play. Second down, 13.
Got him behind the line of scrimmage for a 3-yard loss. Yarngo goes in motion, handed off to him on the sweep. And he tries to get around the far side, and Newsom comes up from the linebacker position and gets him after a gain of maybe 1.
Good job by the Hartley defense right now, not letting anything go past them in these first two snaps, and so far the defense is looking good.
Yeah, they give him 2 on that, so it'll be 3rd down and 11 here. Yeah, this defense, they are, look, they know that this offensive line is really blocking for the very first time this year, and they're going right after them. And there is movement. Looked like Bryant started to step back before the ball was snapped. So the false start will move it back 5 more yards, make it 3rd down and 16. Well, Gino, we talked about this. You go back to the first week against Moeller. You know, the Hawks made mistakes. There are things that you normally work out during the summer and during your training camp. There wasn't really much of that for St. Charles, and in just the one scrimmage, nobody had time to work through these. Now, in the Hartley case, they've had 3 regular season games to do it.
Yeah, they've had, especially what we said, Watterson, they had a lot of mistakes as well. But so far, I mean, you want to capitalize on those mistakes and just really try to get as much advantage as possible, especially against St. Charles. They're going to make mistakes. It's their first game. They have had a lot of practice, so it's going to be very important for them to get this.
Bryant dumps it off. Great job by Newsom in coverage because he was right on Yarngo, and he drops him for a loss. And they were the Hawks were blitzing. They were blitzing off the left end immediately there, and they picked up the blitz, but had to throw the ball underneath, and there was just nothing there. So Richard Kenny and Trey Saunders are both back near midfield, ready to take this punt. And it's a good kick. Saunders will have the opportunity to do something with it. Coming toward the near side of the field. Nice cut, loses his balance and gets down at the 38-yard line. So good field position here for the Hawks once again. So, Gino, the defense, they go out, they do the job, they push St. Charles backwards, and now they set up their offense.
Yeah, that was a great job by the defense with how quick they were able to get that. They got the ball. Hartley scored a touchdown with 5 minutes and 52 seconds left in the quarter. It's only 3:44 left, so they definitely have plenty of time just to capitalize in just this quarter.
Yeah, just 3 and out, very simply. And Peyton Underwood out with Niall Johnson right next to him from the shotgun formation here. Trey Saunders fake the handoff to him, throw to the near side, and here's Richard Kenny looking for blocks, and he started to lose his footing, and he goes down.
Underwood's pass is complete.
So the play doesn't get what they had hoped that it would. Derek James was there on the tackle.
69 on the cue.
They still do get a couple of yards on that. They get about 4. That'll make it a 2nd down and 6. So even on a play that doesn't work the way they wanted to, they still picked up 4 yards. Here's Johnson on the pitch to the far sideline. He's got a block, although there is a flag, and Niall will get up to the 10-yard line, but this one is coming back because of a hold.
It's holding against Mr. Hartley. The 10-yard penalty for the smaller flag.
So the flag was laying right at about the 1st down marker there, so should bring it back to the original line of scrimmage here. It'll be a 2nd down and 10.
2nd down and 10.
Once again, Marcellus Parker lines up in that feature back position. Richard Kenny goes in motion. They are going to hand it off to Trey Saunders. Saunders stuttering there, looking for the opening, and he could not find it. That's actually a good job just to stay with the ball carrier on that play. Giovanni Delfino able to make the tackle.
Yeah, nice job by the St. Charles defense right there, just making sure you're on Saunders and not trying to get as many yards gained for them as possible.
Yeah, just trying to, a little trickery in a way there. A lot of guys moving. Richard Kenny running deep through the backfield. Parker already set up right there.
Yeah, great way of focusing right there, just looking at Saunders and not making sure any like juke moves or anything like that fakes you out.
So that'll leave a 3rd down and 8. See if Underwood throws for the again here, and he does. Goes underneath to Saunders, and he's got some room. Gets up to the 30-yard line, and finally brought down at the 29. He's going to be just short of the 1st down yard marker. Actually, they're going to put it right at the 30. And it'll be 4th down and 2. And I'm sure that the Hawks feel pretty confident about getting the 2 yards right now. Let's see if they can. Go with a tight formation. Pitch it to Niall Johnson, and he's easily got it up the right side, trying to break a tackle. He won't be able to do that, but he's got the 1st down, and he's inside the 20-yard line.
Yeah, great by Niall right there, just getting the 1st down, which you need, then getting it a little bit extra because he found an opening and was able to take advantage of it as much as possible.
Yeah, he is getting to the outside tonight. He's getting that speed build up, and he's getting good blocking on the end of the line.
Yeah, and we saw that with the flag that was played. You know, even though there was a flag on that play, it was still great to see Niall. He was able to find openings right there.
1st down and 10 for Underwood. Going to hand it off on the counter to Johnson. Up the middle he goes, just for a couple. Again, St. Charles doing a nice job of not biting on the misdirection there. Just staying with the play. 3-yard pickup. And again, the Hawks continue just to march down the field. Just over a minute remaining here in the 1st quarter of this game. Send a man in motion and they hand it off again to Saunders, and he's going to find a lot of running room into the end zone for a touchdown. Saunders was 15 yards into the end zone for that touchdown, and the Hawks will look to add another extra point.
Nice job right there by mixing up your running backs, getting Saunders a chance to get the ball. Already 2 running backs, 2 touchdowns in this quarter, in the 1st quarter.
Is he tired? Does he need a
So he scores with 54 seconds remaining
No, he just bounced and played.
in this 1st quarter. It's got Marcellus Parker for 1, and now Trey Saunders for 1. And for Saunders, that is his 2nd rushing touchdown of the year. Ryan Hawk adds that extra point, and that makes it a 14-0 game. Well, you draw up a game plan, Gino, as a coach, and you want your team to go out there and execute, and that's exactly what they've done on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, nice, quick, great start right now for the Hawks. Great job both drives offensively, and then the defensive drive was tremendous as well. So far, everything's clicking for them.
Everything is clicking. It's a long way to go. They're well aware of that. No question about it. But that offense in the running game, and they want to get that tuned up. Look, next week it's right back at it again in the CCL. You get Watterson and DeSales back-to-back again to finish off your 6-game slate before you go into the playoffs. They want that running game to be clicking.
Yeah, you definitely want to make sure you, I don't want to say practice, but you just want to prepare as much as possible and just taking advantage and making sure that your running backs are getting as much reps as much as they can, because these next 2 games are going to be very tough for them. Or should we see what they did against them? Even though they won, it was a very close game, and then the sales obviously. So very important for their running backs to get as much tune-up as possible.
Ryan Hawk on his last kickoff put it into the end zone. Let's see if he is able to do that again here. $14-0 lead for the Hartley Hawks. And Ryan Hawk again booms it through the end zone. No problem there for him. Doesn't run any time off the clock, doesn't matter. This defense is going to come out here and see if they can force another 3 and out. Well, that's a goal. That's a goal of every defense every time they go on the field. They were able to do it last time. Got a little help with a penalty. Did a good job of catching St. Charles in the backfield a few times. I talked about the Hawks. They wanted to get things going. They want to fine-tune their offense. Right now, St. Charles wants to get theirs going. They've been, waiting for that last long drive by the Hawks to get back on the field. And they take the football, and there's a quick hit behind the line again. Sumo Kessley was the first guy there. He didn't make the tackle, but he certainly slowed down the ball carrier.
Obviously Sumo is going to be very important in this game on the defensive end. He's always a force defensively, and seeing him contribute to the tackle right there is a good sign for Hartley.
Very good sign indeed. And Sumo Kessley plays on both sides of the ball. We haven't seen him run the ball here in this game so far, and again, that's a good thing in some ways. Whenever you have those big weapons and you can use them one way and get them a break, that's not a bad thing, because you can always come back to them. There's plenty of movement. Entire left side jumped.
Ball started against St. Charles. It's a 5-yard penalty.
So that'll back St. Charles up again. And again, these things are going to happen early in the season. So the first quarter comes to an end. They just let that clock run out. And the Hawks have been able to put up a couple of touchdowns here so far. They have a 14-0 lead over St. Charles. This is Bishop Hartley football.
Chef Jimmy at the TAT, corner of James and Livingston, says, come on down. The TAT's delicious Italian-American specialties are so nicer. And the Corovas are going above and beyond to keep their guests and employees safe. Try this dine-in special, pasta dinner for 2, with soup, salad, bread, and dessert, just $29.95. Or this carry-out deal, family pasta dinner for 4, with salad, pasta, meatballs, and bread for $27.99. Add a bottle of select wine, and you're out the door with a dinner for 4 for $35. Curbside carryout. The TAT at the corner of James and Livingston, 614-236-1392, where the Corova family makes you feel welcome like nobody else.
Getting set to start the second quarter here in St. Charles. And they have the football right now down 14-0. Looking at a second down and 15. They get all the way out to the 40-yard line.
And that's a big reception right there that St. Charles needs after that second quarter, after a first quarter where Hartley really dominated. It's good to see St. Charles as well trying to make sure that they're doing everything they can on the offensive side just to keep in this game.
Nice job by Derek James, the junior wide receiver, catching that ball and finding the open space. First down and 10. Hand the ball off. There's a flag that flies from the far sideline. Just a short pickup. On the carry was Fred Nimley, and Dylan Newsom made the stop. Well, there's a sideline warning on that play. Pickup of 1, second down and 9.
Sorry, 3 on the play, second down and 7.
Hand the ball off to the first man through this time, and quick hitter for St. Charles gets them some decent yardage. They're going to be looking at a third down and short here.
Good job by the St. Charles offense right now coming off, and you wondered that the first quarter was just a little bit of a warm up for him, just trying to get used to being back in organized way of football. From the scrimmage was the only thing they've had since, and that was back on September 11th. So maybe this is what St. Charles needs right there to get some offense going.
We go 3 men in the backfield. Third down and short. They're going to hand it off to the tailback, and Daniel Tucson was the first guy in there. It depends upon the spot of the ball whether this is a first down or not. The ball carrier trying to lunge forward and did not make it. It's going to be just short. Fred Nimley again on the carry, the junior running back. So fourth down play here, and St. Charles coming out to line up to go for it. Fourth down and short. They hand it off to the first man, and this is going to be good for a first down.
Gains 2, that results in a Cardinal first down.
Oh, good job there by Denham Craig, taking the football and getting the first down.
Yeah, good job right there. We saw St. Charles with a big reception play earlier, and now they're trying just to move the chains now in the running game. So we're seeing a little bit of an equal balance for St. Charles in this offense.
Yeah, seeing them get some confidence right now in their offense. No doubt. Nimley, the tailback. Bryant hands it to him, bounce to the outside, and he's got the first down. He's got more. Down the field he goes, into the open and into the end zone. Touchdown. That is 49 yards on the touchdown.
That's a good job right there by St. Charles. After we just said they were just moving the chains, a big run right there. So far for St. Charles, quarter starting off pretty well for him.
On the kick, the extra point,
Nick Vestaya will attempt the so this the extra point will cut it to 7 points. And the Hawks are in shock right now as Vestaya puts it up and puts it through. So all of a sudden, the tide has turned on the Bishop Hartley Hawks. The defense, the first time out there, they went 3 and out and made it look easy. This time, not so easy. Nimley with a 49-yard touchdown run, and it's a 14-7 game.
Yeah, I think it gives St. Charles a lot of credit for just making adjustments from that first drive right there. That Hartley really did a good job. It's just making those adjustments and it's paying off for him so far.
Now for the Hawks, they're going to look to their offense to come back and just get everything back in order right here, Gino. That's what they hope to do.
Yeah, I think if you're Hartley right now, you just want one of those long drives just to burn time off the clock, especially given the fact that you get into halftime. It's going to be very important for Hartley right here.
Yes, absolutely. A chance to swing that pendulum back the other way if you come out with a good offensive drive and you put some more points on the board. Trey Saunders and Richard Kenny go back deep, and the sun in their eyes right now as St. Charles is lining up to kick this one away. Yeah, there you see those guys putting their hands up and trying to shield from the sun here as they get ready to look up and look for the ball. .9:37 to go here in this first half. One score game right now, 14-7. And this is a line drive kick. Deshaun Tucker will watch that roll out of bounds, and the Hawks are going to get good field position to start this very next drive. So let's see what they do with that.
Yeah, good job, right? Well, it's good for the offense right there for Hartley. Just get that good field position, just getting back into their groove, especially on the offensive end after a defensive possession that didn't go their way. This is going to be a very important possession for him because you kind of want to capitalize right here because it's only a 7-point game now, and you don't want St. Charles to take advantage of that because then all of a sudden it could be a tie game.
Yeah, and the funny thing in high school football, and especially with the Hawks, a lot of these guys that were just on the field playing defense and gave up points are out here playing offense, and they have a chance to get them back. And that's what they're going to be looking to do is Niall Johnson takes the football and goes up the right side, and he breaks off a tackle, and there he goes to the far sideline, to 35, to 30, and he is going to be knocked out of bounds down near the 25-yard line. That is a great run, though. Goes about 40 yards on that run. First down and 10.
Yeah, it was a good job right there. Niall was just shaking out of trouble doing we talked a lot about his footwork before, and he just has tremendous footwork and was able to capitalize on that right there and get a very big run for Hartley.
Huge run, and you talk about a tone setter for a drive. That would be it right there. 40 yards on that run, first down and 10 from the 25-yard line. Peyton Underwood sends Trey Saunders in motion, then hands it to Marcellus Parker. Parker hitting the middle of that line just for a couple of yards. He'll get 2 yards on that play, but they are more than happy to do that. Just smash them out there. A second down and 8 coming. And here's a pitch. Trey Saunders on the left side. Again, breaking a tackle. He's going to get near the first down marker. He's taken down inbounds. Well, again, a good job of blocking and just getting that ball near the first down marker. Leave him a little bit more than a yard shy of it.
7 yards on the play. Third down 2. Third down, Cardinal fans. Here we go.
So third down and a short 2. Hand it off to Parker, and Parker on the right side gets through, and he breaks all the way through to the end zone for the touchdown. Marcellus Parker goes 17 yards, and the Hawks answer quickly. And they have a 20-7 lead.
And we were talking about him a lot from the first quarter after that first drive right there. And great job setting the tone for the offense for this second quarter drive.
So when we don't have anybody coming,
so Marcellus Parker getting his second touchdown of the game. He's got a touchdown run of 3 yards, now a touchdown run of 17 yards. As Ryan Hawk looks to make it a 21-7 game. And Ryan Hawk able to drive it through, and so it is indeed 21-7. So nice job by the Hawks to answer, and they answered really quickly, and especially on that 40-yard run by Niall Johnson. Right now I want to tell you about Hutta and Price Orthodontics, because they've been doing a lot of great work for a long time here in this area. And with Hutta and Price, one thing that they take pride in is knowing who their patients are and getting to know who they are and showing them that they care. They have a wide range of services that they perform. To find out what those are or to set up a free consultation, all you have to do is go to their website, which is lovethatsmile.net. Hutta and Price Orthodontics. So good answer by the Hawks here. Back up by 14 points, and Gino, that's exactly what they needed. Now that defense is going to have a chance to come out and redeem itself.
Yeah, this defensive drive is going to be important because you don't want St. Charles to answer back after a very good offensive drive for Hartley. So the defense, I think, just making those adjustments from that first drive in the second quarter is going to be very pivotal for him.
Now the first question is going to be, will there be any kick coverage? There hasn't been, because Ryan Hawk has been driving the ball into the end zone. Now he turns around and he kicks the other way. So let's see if he can put it into the end zone, kicking it from left to right here. And for St. Charles, not that they had the chance to return any of the previous kicks, but they're not looking into the sun this time. So Hawk is ready to
I can't, Tony. Can you hear me?
see if he can
I can't tell up here.
boom it down the field here.
I was just going off of that sand.
And he does. And doesn't matter which way he's kicking it in this game tonight. It's the same result. To the end zone. 1st and 10 from the 20. Such a weapon to have, a good kicker.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we saw how important Mateo was for that team from 2 years ago, and to see Ryan Hawk fill those shoes is very awesome to see.
So Ryan does his job. Defense making a couple of substitutions here. Getting some different faces on the field right now. Anthony Murphy is one of them that has come in, set up on the left side. Here's a handoff, and nobody was fooled on that whatsoever. Nimely, nowhere to go. Sam LeMay was right there to meet him immediately.
Loss of 1 on the play, 2nd and 11 for St. Charles at their 19-yard line.
Well, St. Charles did have that long touchdown run on that last drive. This time they tried the middle. There's nothing there. Bryant set up in the shotgun with Nimely lined up to his left. Takes a snap, hands it off, and Nimely is taken down. Marcellus Parker is in there on the tackle.
Marcellus Parker on the tackle. He has 2 on the play. 3rd down 9 St. Charles at their 21-yard line.
So pickup of 2, leaving a 3rd down and 9 here. So Hartley defense back to where it was on that first St. Charles drive of the game. They've just shut down the running game. See if Bryant puts it in the air. More than likely he does. Takes that snap, a little bit of pressure, and he overthrows the intended receiver.
Flag down on the play.
There's a flag on the play.
Bryant's pass was incomplete, intended for Doogie James.
It looks like the Hawks have committed a penalty here, and they are guilty of holding.
Against Bishop Hartley.
And that gives St. Charles new life. So they had them at the 3 and out. Couldn't put them away because of the penalty.
10-yard penalty takes the ball to the St. Charles 31-yard line.
So the ball is placed at the 31-yard line. Two receivers, or actually 3 receivers set up on the right side as Bryant takes the ball and doesn't hand it off, but he can't get away from the pressure. Good job by the Hawks to keep coming right after him there, and Anthony Murphy, sophomore linebacker, able to make the tackle.
Yeah, good job by Hartley right there, making that defensive play right there after the penalty, gained those yards back as St. Charles moving them back.
And Murphy getting a chance to check in and play a little bit here, and you know, this is one of those games you're not ahead by a ton at this point. I mean, it's certainly a game, there's no question about it, but you have a chance to get some of your regulars a little bit of a breather and not play 2 ways. Bryant drops back, and he wants to throw down the middle of the field, and that pass is going to be incomplete. Niall Johnson was on the coverage. Isaiah Yarngo, the senior wide receiver, was the intended target.
Defense on the play by number 21, Niall Johnson.
Good coverage right there by Johnson. We obviously talk about him a lot in the running game, but obviously for Hartley, where a lot of these guys play offense and defense, it's good to see Niall at the cornerback making his mark too.
Well, that's going to leave a 3rd down play here. 3rd down and about 15.
It'll be a return split.
Now they almost had the separation they were looking for, but Niall Johnson just staying with the receiver. Bryant drops back and he looks near side, trying to set up a little bubble screen, and a good job by the Hawks to cover that. Daniel Tucson was the guy that got the sleeve of Yarngo and slowed him down, and then the help came for him.
Number 11, Anthony Murphy.
make sure Sumo knows he's at the.
Yeah, they just tried to curl him back around there in that screenplay, and no chance. And Daniel Tucson, he had that all figured out, which he normally does, Gino.
Yeah, that's a good job by the Hartley defense, making adjustments of St. Charles adjustments earlier in the drive, and just adjusting to St. Charles after that great touchdown drive for him, and just getting that. Other than the penalty, it was a great drive defensively for Hartley.
Oh, here's a high snap, and that ball goes into the end zone. And they're going to try to punt it away quickly, and this is a decent kick. Trey Saunders will let it bounce, and it takes a St. Charles bounce. And well, I'll tell you, what could have been an absolute disaster doesn't turn out too bad. The ball is going to be placed at the 37-yard line. So, good job chasing that ball down and getting that kick away with 5:14 remaining here in the first half.
Yeah, it was a great job by converting from what could have been a disaster into really good, better field position for St. Charles right now.
You know, I wonder if Trey Saunders saw that ball. Again, he's looking into the sun, and I don't know if he calculated to let it bounce there or if he didn't pick it up right away. Either way, you never know which way the football's going to bounce, and it bounced in favor of St. Charles. So it will be a first down and 10. Sumo Kessley is lined up as the tailback for the first time tonight for the Hawks. Send Richard Kenny in motion. And they will fake the handoff to Sumo, and Peyton Underwood's going to run it on the left side, and he's got some room, and he takes a hit as he lunges to the 45-yard line. Now, he doesn't run the ball that much. In fact, he came into this game with minus 10 rushing yards on the season, Gino. So it looks like he's got himself to about minus 2 on the year now.
Yeah, it was a good run right there. Obviously, he's not as mobile a quarterback as we've seen from Miles Fleming in the years past. But obviously, that's a good run right there and just making adjustments and learning as he goes.
Absolutely. Leaves a second down and short here. Kessley goes in motion. They hand it to Parker, and Parker bangs up the middle, and he is going to wind up with the first down. That was a good job just taking what was there. Solomon Leasath on the tackle, junior defensive end.
First down at their own 48-yard line.
So the Hawks
Tell me God.
back to that running game, and let's see, how many different guys have they had run the football now? You put Underwood in there.
Yeah.
But already 5 guys run the football in this game?
It's definitely a lot of guys.
Yeah, and it's not all of them. They've got more. And a timeout is going to be taken by the Hawks here as they just couldn't get it together. They weren't sure what was going on, so they want to be sure about it. They take the timeout. There's 4:06 remaining here in the first half, and the Hawks are leading by the score of 21-7. This is Bishop Hartley football.
Bob Boyd Auto Family in Lancaster treats the needs of each individual customer with paramount concern. You have high expectations and specific needs when buying a car. Bob Boyd enjoys the challenge of meeting and exceeding those standards each and every time. Allow Bob Boyd Auto to demonstrate their commitment to excellence. They have an experienced sales staff eager to share their knowledge and enthusiasm with you. Browse the inventory from anywhere by going to bobboyd.com. While you're there, schedule a test drive and check out financing options. Come experience the Bob Boyd difference.
So the Hawks taking their second time out of the half and getting ready to go here on a first down and 10. Underwood in the shotgun. Takes a snap, looks to throw, and passes toward Trey Saunders and was behind him. It falls incomplete. Actually, good job. Giovanni Delfino was the man in coverage, and you know, the play that Trey made sure Delfino didn't pick off the football.
Yeah, it was a good effort right there, just making sure there's no interception. At the very worst, it was just an incomplete, so good job keeping this drive alive.
So it's second down and 10. Underwood has run the ball once on this drive, now throwing the ball. You got Bowens and Parker in the backfield. They bring Saunders around. He takes the pitch, and he goes up the far sideline for the first down. And then he gets knocked out of bounds. It's a nice job by Delfino to make that tackle. Giovanni Delfino all over the field right now for St. Charles. Just under 4 minutes to go here in this first half. Parker and Johnson in the backfield, set up in an I formation. Underwood will bring a man in motion. Turns, hands it off to Niall Johnson, bouncing on the left side, and he gets up to about near the 35-yard line. Be just shy of that at the 36.
68, only 2, man on.
4-yard gain on the play, second down 6.
Let's go.
So good 4-yard pickup there for Niall Johnson. Pitch it to Marcellus Parker. And there's room on the left side for him to put his head down and barrel ahead for the first down. Good job by Marcellus. As he is down to about the 26-yard line, that'll be good enough for a first down.
And we're seeing these first 2 quarters, he's being relied heavy upon when you need him, and he's been able to come through every time.
Well, the Hawks continue just to methodically move the football right now. Underwood fakes a handoff to Johnson, rolls right, throws to Saunders, and he is going to go toward the pylon and into the end zone for the touchdown. Peyton Underwood with the touchdown pass. It was 27 yards to Trey Saunders. So Saunders has a touchdown run, and now he has a touchdown reception.
That was a great pass right there by Underwood. Obviously last week with 2 touchdown passes, he's showing that he's getting another one tonight, and overall good offensive showing for the Hawks.
Oh, actually, so they put that at the 1-yard line. Had a guy that signaled the touchdown and changed their mind. So it's at the 1-yard line. Got to bring Johnson in motion. And trying to go up the middle is Trey Saunders. And so that is no gain. So they're going to bring the big package in now with 2:40 on a turning clock here. So Johnson and Saunders and Kenny all check out of the game. So they'll put the size on the line here, turn around, hand the ball off to Marcellus Parker, and he gets it into the end zone for the touchdown. So it's Marcellus Parker that has his second touchdown of the game. Sorry, his third touchdown of the game. And the Hawks are going to go for 2 here. Underwood sending Parker in motion. Turns, pitches it to Niall Johnson. And Johnson able to get to the pylon and get in for the 2-point conversion.
2 minutes and 27 seconds left in the first half. Hartley, 29.
So the Hawks now have a 29-7 lead over St. Charles with 2:27 remaining in the first half. This is Bishop Hartley football.
Teamwork. It's what makes high school football great. And it's what makes the Kendall team of Remax Town Center your winning real estate team. Central Ohio is a top-ranked place to live in the nation. And you need to talk to Ron Kendall about the opportunities available now that can put you in a new home. You deserve an upgrade for your family. Let our team help. The Kendall team of Remax Town Center. Find us online at kendallteam.com or at 614-325-6295.
Gahanna Auto Sales' family-owned and customer-first approach takes the frustration, runaround, and high-pressure sales out of the car buying experience. Let Gahanna Auto Sales earn your business on your next car purchase. Check out their large selection of cars, trucks, and SUVs at GahannaAutoSales.com or visit Craig and Kyle in person at 180 Mill Street in Gahanna. Gahanna Auto Sales, how the car buying process should be.
First down and 10. Bryant turns and he hands it off. And not much there. Daniel Tucson on the tackle. So again, the Hawks defense stopping the ball carrier right at the line. Under 2 minutes to go here in the first half. As Yarngo checks out of the game, Henry Montel checks in to take his spot here, and will line up as the wideout on the left side. Here's a handoff, and again, not much in the way of room. Dylan Newsom was there to make the tackle. Third down and 8 coming up.
Start off with Richie. Okay, so let's see what happens.
1 minute remaining here in the first half. And there was movement on the defensive line.
Offsides against Bishop Hartley. It's a 5.
And that was Avion Murphy. Junior lineman got a little bit anxious there. And now that'll make it third down and 3. Changes the complexion of things here just a little bit. So it is quick handoff. And again, the defensive line is right there to stack up the ball carrier. It is no gain, and a timeout is taken by the Hawks. That's their final timeout, and they take it with 37 seconds remaining here in the first half, leading 29-7. So, Gino, they want to take, maybe one more crack at it here, see what they can do. And this is an opportunity, not just to try to get points, but it's an opportunity to get the ball, not a lot of time on the clock, and work on some things here.
Yeah, especially since St. Charles gets the ball next to start the half. I think they just want to squeeze as many points out as possible before this half's over.
So Saunders and Kenny are already looking to, they were looking to get back into a return situation. Now, Richard Kenny stays on the sidelines. Trey Saunders will hustle back to take the kick. And that kick is a good one. Wobbling spiral kick, and this is a live ball, and Trey Saunders diving to the turf, can't come up with it, and St. Charles, do they get that? Where are they going to place the football here? They're going to place it inside the 15-yard line. Well, that is quite the turn of events right there.
Yeah, that's huge for St. Charles right there. You definitely want to capitalize, make it a 29-14 game with the ball coming in the second half. You definitely want to make sure that you take advantage of this mistake right there.
Well, now that defense has to stay on the field and try to keep St. Charles from getting points before the half. Here's a handoff, and they cannot find any running room over the left side. Alex Hirschberg, the senior running back, taking the football now and getting some reps. And St. Charles with timeouts. And, Gino, they're going to take one right here with 17.8 seconds remaining in this first half because they want the points.
Yeah, obviously with 17 seconds remaining, you want to make sure you don't mess up any game plans right here because this is a pivotal drive just to make sure that you're coming down, and instead of a 29-7 game, you want it to be a 29-14 game.
Yeah, so this is, that play, that punt, Is there any surprise? Because it seems like more times than not, when Hartley comes to play here, there's something crazy that happens. They're always involved. It seems like they're always involved in a close game at this place.
Yeah, 2 years ago it was a close game. Obviously the weather conditions weren't ideal at that time, but it's great weather right now. But always something crazy. Friday nights, anything can happen in high school football, and we saw it right there.
Yeah, and I'm sure that. There's enough players on the St. Charles team that have seen it themselves, and the ones that haven't seen it have been told about it. So they're not going to give up in any stretch of the imagination. And there was not much there for Fred Nimley that time, and Richard Kenny comes up to make the tackle.
Number 3, Richard Kenny.
So the clock is now stopped with 11 and a half seconds left as St. Charles takes another timeout here. Well, this is the one thing that, running the football, there was a 49-yard touchdown run. Other than that, they really haven't been able to get big yardage here. And, they're in a situation where they can get a first down before they get a touchdown, but the clock is not on their side right now. So they need a big run. And a big run, and when you're pinned down near the goal line, the Hawks are going to make that tough for them to come up with.
Yeah, that's what the Hartley defense does. They try to, any mistake that happened, the Hartley defense usually comes up and makes up for it. And, you don't really remember it that much. So the Hartley defense is going to be very important in this drive, obviously, just to stop it and make sure their momentum keeps in their favor.
Let's see what they come up with here. Third down. Bryant takes it and he hands it off, and Nimley can't find anything there. And St. Charles will take their final timeout of the half. And they have one more opportunity here to try to get some points with just about 6 seconds remaining in the first half of this game. 29-7. Hawks getting the first 2 scores of this game. Marcellus Parker with a 3-yard touchdown run. Trey Saunders then ran for 15 yards and a touchdown. Then it was the 49-yard touchdown run by St. Charles. Fred Nimley getting that one. And it made it a 14-7 game, but the Hawks have come back with a pair of Marcellus Parker touchdowns. One of those a 17-yard run, the other a 1-yard touchdown run. So that's how we've gotten to this point.
St. Francis to Sales 13, Bishop Watterson 7.
So 29-7 is the score.
Nick Pastaya on to.
And Nick Pastaya is going to attempt a field goal here. This will be a 25-yard field goal attempt as he will kick it away from the 15. And remember, St. Charles will get the ball to start the second half of this game as well. So they can get some points here and then come out and get some points on the next drive. They'll feel pretty good about themselves. That kick is up and the kick is good. So they get those points and make it a 29-10 game. Well, for St. Charles, again, there's no doubt it's a victory. They get the points out of it, but it's a moral victory as well. They're able to drive down the field. They do take advantage of the turnover. Remember, they punted the ball, and Trey Saunders had it go off his hands. It turned into a live ball, so they got 3 points where they would have gotten none.
Yeah, 100%. And that's a good job by St. Charles right there, just taking advantage of whatever they can get and just squeezing as many points as possible because they need as much as they can.
Yes, they do. And like I said, if they defend here for the final 6 seconds, then they can come out here and try to put points on the board in the first drive at the start of the second half of this game. So, sometimes it's baby steps. You take the small step just to try to get to where you're going. And Pastaya is ready to kick it away.
Nick Pastaya on the kick for St. Charles.
Kenny and Saunders deep as usual.
Trey Saunders and Richard Kenny deep for Bishop Hartley.
It's only 3.9 seconds left on the clock here, so the Hawks would have to do something in a hurry, and they go with the line drive kick. Deshaun Tucker takes it, Tucker right up the middle, and he is going to be tackled at the 35-yard line, and that's the way the first half comes to an end. Bishop Hartley with 3 touchdowns scored by Marcellus Parker in that first half, and they have themselves a 29-10 lead here at St. Charles.
The Central Ohio Spinal Bifida Alliance is a nonprofit organization that provides services such as annual fundraisers, helping with medical expenses, vehicle modifications, and much more. This year, they are hosting a virtual 5K, which allows you to do it on your own time, wherever and however you want to. The event is October 2nd through 4th, and 100% of the proceeds will go to the organization, which is completely run by volunteers. Visit storeonair.com and click the link at the top of the page to register. The deadline is September 27th, and everyone who signs up receives a shirt and a goodie bag. Cosmic 5K. Catch us if you can.
Gahanna Auto Sales' family-owned and customer-first approach takes the frustration, runaround, and high-pressure sales out of the car buying experience. Let Gahanna Auto Sales earn your business on your next car purchase. Check out their large selection of cars, trucks, and SUVs at GahannaAutoSales.com or visit Craig and Kyle in person at 180 Mill Street in Gahanna. Gahanna Auto Sales, how the car buying process should be.
Teamwork. It's what makes high school football great. And it's what makes the Kendall team of Remax Town Center your winning real estate team. Central Ohio is a top-ranked place to live in the nation, and you need to talk to Ron Kendall about the opportunities available now that can put you in a new home. You deserve an upgrade for your family. Let our team help. The Kendall team of Remax Town Center. Find us online at kendallteam.com or at 614-325-6295.
Are you passionate about sports talk and production? Then the Ohio Media School is right for you. Here, you can become a pro in front of the camera and behind the scenes. In 6 months, you'll be trained by the best in play-by-play, talk shows, filming, editing, audio, and more. Join the family by applying today, and you'll be closer to your dream career. For more information, visit beonair.com or call the Columbus campus at 614-655-5250. Ohio Media School. Learn from a pro to be a pro.
Being a Catholic is more than just going to church or saying your prayers. It's a way of life and a way of being. You've always been driven to do what's right for your family, for your community, and for your Catholic faith. And now there are so many ways to give and support your faith. How do you know what direction is the right one? You start right here with the Catholic Foundation. We are parish-based, dedicated to helping our Catholic community, and have been providing families and individuals with trusted expert philanthropic services since 1984. We connect donors to the causes they care about and can create custom giving plans based on your needs and lifestyle. We make giving a realistic and easy option. Here's how it works. You make a gift of cash, stock, or other assets. You get an immediate tax deduction, and a fund is created and invested for a cause. The foundation serves as a guide, helping you navigate your personal philanthropic journey and connecting you with ways to impact the things you are most passionate about. Your gift can be used to continually support schools, parishes, and other nonprofits. The fund is invested wisely and strategically according to our Catholic values and beliefs for maximum impact. We can even work with your current trusted advisor to invest the fund. You choose to give now or later. Giving is a lifelong journey that includes your entire family and creates a legacy of giving that lasts for generations. Your fund's ongoing financial benefits to the Catholic faith will continue your philanthropic journey no matter where it takes you. So talk with the Catholic Foundation today to see how you can change tomorrow.
Halftime here at St. Charles, and Bishop Hartley is leading by the score of 29-10. Bob McElligott and Gino Hoffman with you. The first half of this game, Gino, without question, Marcellus Parker's show. You talked about last year how he had a big game against St. Charles, and they go right back to him again here this year, and let him get the wheels going here tonight for the first time all year, and it's nice to watch.
Yeah, he's definitely been the leader of this offense that has really dominated so far. I don't think they've had the punt at all that first half, so the offense has just been clicking on all ends, and Marcellus Parker has definitely led that
Yeah, and they've done a couple of different things. They've let Underwood throw the ball a little bit. There's no need to really throw it a lot in this game. A lot of guys have touched the ball out of the backfield, and if they can continue to play good offensively, if they get the defensive stops here and then they get some more points, I would suspect you'll see even more guys in this game tonight.
Yeah, and the depth of the running backs is just, we saw how important it was. St. Charles is just on their heels because you don't know if it's going to be Niall or Trey Saunders or Marcellus. So having that depth at running back is very important, and Hartley's definitely taking advantage of it.
Yeah, Sumo Kesley led the team in rushing yards last week. He had 70 yards, and he has not been an offensive factor in this game to this point. But knowing how they tend to do things, that could change in the second half of this game too.
Yeah, Sumo's definitely another one of those guys, big, and this is like a Marcellus Parker in that way, just can get the rushing yards that you need, and he just adds to that depth, and so Hartley, they have a lot more in their arsenal.
Yes, indeed they do, and right now they're leading by 19 points. 29-10 is the score at the half. This is Bishop Hartley football.
Chef Jimmy at the TAT, corner of James and Livingston, says, come on down. The TAT's delicious Italian-American specialties are so nice. And the Carovas are going above and beyond to keep their guests and employees safe. Try this dine-in special, pasta dinner for two, with soup, salad, bread, and dessert, just $29.95. Or this carry-out deal, family pasta dinner for four, with salad, pasta, meatballs, and bread for $27.99. Add a bottle of select wine, and you're out the door with the dinner for four for $35.99 with wine. The dining room's open and safe, but if you're not comfortable dining in, call ahead and order TAT curbside carryout. The TAT at the corner of James and Livingston, 614-236-1392, where the Carova family makes you feel welcome like nobody else.
Good evening, good times at TAT.
Bob Boyd Auto Family in Lancaster treats the needs of each individual customer with paramount concern. You have high expectations and specific needs when buying a car. Bob Boyd enjoys the challenge of meeting and exceeding those standards each and every time. Allow Bob Boyd Auto to demonstrate their commitment to excellence. They have an experienced sales staff eager to share their knowledge and enthusiasm with you. Browse the inventory from anywhere by going to bobboyd.com. While you're there, schedule a test drive and check out financing options. Come experience the Bob Boyd difference.
The Central Ohio Spinal Bifida Alliance is a nonprofit organization that provides services such as annual fundraisers, helping with medical expenses, vehicle modifications, and much more. This year, they are hosting a virtual 5K, which allows you to do it on your own time, wherever and however you want to. The event is October 2nd through 4th, and 100% of the proceeds will go to the organization, which is completely run by volunteers. Visit storeonair.com and click the link at the top of the page to register. The deadline is September 27th, and everyone who signs up receives a shirt and a goodie bag. Cosmic 5K. Catch us if you can.
Teamwork. It's what makes high school football great. And it's what makes the Kendall team of Remax Town Center your winning real estate team. Central Ohio is a top-ranked place to live in the nation. And you need to talk to Ron Kendall about the opportunities available now that can put you in a new home. You deserve an upgrade for your family. Let our team help. The Kendall team of Remax Town Center. Find us online at kendallteam.com or at 614-325-6295.
Halftime here at St. Charles, and the Hawks are leading by the score of 29-10. So, Gino, for that Bishop Hartley defense, having just given up the field goal, how important is this very first defensive series in the second half?
I think it's important just to start off the way you start off the game. The first defensive drive for him was tremendous, 3 and out, as we talked about. And so I think just to keep that momentum going into the second half, just to make sure St. Charles doesn't get any points on the board, it's going to be very pivotal.
And they haven't allowed them really to do much up the middle tonight, with the exception of the 49-yard touchdown run. I know that's a big exception, but it was one time they didn't get the block or they didn't make the tackle, and it cost them. Other than that, they've been good tonight.
Yeah, the defense has been, other than one drive, they've done a really good job, and you expect it to carry on to the second half.
So 29-10, that is the score as we are getting set for the start of the second half of tonight's game. From here at St. Charles, Bishop Hartley has the lead, and you're listening to Bishop Hartley football.
Are you passionate about sports talk and production? Then the Ohio Media School is right for you. Here, you can become a pro in front of the camera and behind the scenes. In 6 months, you'll be trained by the best in play-by-play, talk shows, filming, editing, audio, and more. Join the family by applying today, and you'll be closer to your dream career. For more information, visit beonair.com or call the Columbus campus at 614-655-5250. Ohio Media School. Learn from a pro to be a pro.
Bob Boyd Auto Family in Lancaster treats the needs of each individual customer with paramount concern. You have high expectations and specific needs when buying a car. Bob Boyd enjoys the challenge of meeting and exceeding those standards each and every time. Allow Bob Boyd Auto to demonstrate their commitment to excellence. They have an experienced sales staff eager to share their knowledge and enthusiasm with you. Browse the inventory from anywhere by going to bobboyd.com. While you're there, schedule a test drive and check out financing options. Come experience the Bob Boyd difference.
Just about set to start the second half here at St. Charles. Bishop Hartley with a 29-10 lead. Marcellus Parker is the guy that has been in the forefront for the Hawks. He has 3 touchdowns on the night. It looked like Trey Saunders does have one. It looked like he was going to have 2. It looked like he was going to get one on a pass reception, but that one got shut down at the 1-yard line. So the Hawks had to settle for a 1-yard touchdown run on that one. But again, offensively, they've been able to do pretty much what they have wanted to do in this game. They've got a 19-point lead, and they are just about to go out and defend to start the second half of this game. We'll be back with the second half kickoff. You are listening and watching Bishop Hartley football.
Being a Catholic is more than just going to church or saying your prayers. It's a way of life and a way of being. You've always been driven to do what's right for your family, for your community, and for your Catholic faith. And now there are so many ways to give and support your faith. How do you know what direction is the right one? You start right here with the Catholic Foundation. We are parish-based, dedicated to helping our Catholic community, and have been providing families and individuals with trusted expert philanthropic services since 1984. We connect donors to the causes they care about and can create custom giving plans based on your needs and lifestyle. We make giving a realistic and easy option. Here's how it works. You make a gift of cash, stock, or other assets. You get an immediate tax deduction, and a fund is created and invested for a cause. The foundation serves as a guide, helping you navigate your personal philanthropic journey and connecting you with ways to impact the things you are most passionate about. Your gift can be used to continually support schools, parishes, and other nonprofits. The fund is invested wisely and strategically according to our Catholic values and beliefs for maximum impact. We can even work with your current trusted advisor to invest the fund. You choose to give now or later. Giving is a lifelong journey that includes your entire family and creates a legacy of giving that lasts for generations. Your fund's ongoing financial benefits to the Catholic faith will continue your philanthropic journey no matter where it takes you. So talk with the Catholic Foundation today to see how you can change tomorrow.
Second half about to begin here at St. Charles. Bishop Hartley is leading by the score of 29-10. Bob McElligott and Gino Hoffman here with you at St. Charles. 4th game of the year for the Hartley Hawks. 2 more on the regular season schedule before going to the playoffs in this very strange 2020 high school football season. The good news is there is a high school football season. The bad news is there have been a lot of adjustments. But, Gino, you know what? A month into it now, I think those that have been playing, and I know St. Charles, this is their first game here tonight, but it's kind of normal. There's still some things that they're different about it, but for the most part, it is feeling pretty normal.
Yeah, it does seem like there's a sense of normalcy. Obviously, the crowds aren't as big as they would be, but overall, just the play has been the same as it has been years before, and you can't really complain about that.
No, absolutely not. And the quality is good, and for the Hawks, just looking to come out here and get it going in the second half of this game. We talked, Brad Birchfield kind of backs off this a little bit when we talk about them being a young team. They're young. Some of these upperclassmen were behind other guys, so they're young in the way of having to play every down or being that big play guy every single play. But you know what? For the most part, this team did start out kind of young, and this coaching staff has always thought that as they go along, they're going to get better. In fact, there are some that think that this team has the most upside in the CCL because of, some of the younger guys and some of the less experienced guys getting what they're going to get here this year. And by playoff time, they want to have it tuned up.
Yeah, and having that young experience, getting it early is very important. Just to, because if you have everybody, as sophomores being experienced, you got 2 more years of that. And so that's just something that to really look forward to if you're Hartley.
Now, question in this game, is there going to be the opportunity to get any guys even more experience? If you're going to do that, you're going to have to get some more points here, and you're going to have to play good defense. So we shall see as Ryan Hawk is ready to kick off here to start the second half of this game. Hawks with a 19-point lead. They got a touchdown and a 2-point conversion late in the first half. Again, the opportunity to work on things like converting for 2 points. And there's a flag on the kickoff. And Hartley is offsides. And so they'll do it again. And they'll back up and do it again, actually, is what they'll do. So Ryan Hawk will carry that tee back to the 35-yard line and get it set up once again. Tell you what, a pretty nice evening here as we get into the latter part of September. It's a little bit cool, not too cold. We thought we were going to be outside tonight. We're actually inside. I'm not going to complain about that. So here we go.
Are you on, Dave?
If the Hawks stay outside this time, we will officially start the second half of this game. And they will. Ryan Hawk, low line drive. James takes it up over the 10-yard line, cutting to the near sideline. He's got a little bit of room, and here he comes to midfield, and Ryan Hawk comes over and pushes him out of bounds. There is a flag on the field back at the 42-yard line. It's going to be a hold. And it's against St. Charles, and the hold occurred at the 35-yard line. Good job by Ryan Hawk to come up there and make that tackle. Usually when it gets to the kicker, that's bad news. You're in trouble, but I think every kicker relishes the opportunity to hit a guy once in a while, don't you?
Yeah, it's definitely a good job by Hawk right there, showing that he can make some tackles as well as kick some field goals.
But as it turns out, the Hawks do benefit because of the holding call, and St. Charles is going to be backed up to the 25-yard line, and that's where they will start first down and 10. Carter Bryant managing this offense at quarterback for St. Charles. Fred Nimley has taken the bulk of the handoffs in this game. And it was Nimley who got the 49-yard touchdown run back in the first half. So Bryant takes a snap. He wants to throw. Looks near side, hits his man, and Niall Johnson forcing the receiver, Isaiah Yarngo, out of bounds, just shy of the 30-yard line. It's a short gain.
On the tackle, gain of 3 on the play, second down 7.
It's almost like a long handoff right there. Just get it to the outside, get a couple of yards. And again, they haven't had much success in running the football, and especially not running into the middle of that line. So get a couple of yards that way. Second down. Bryant hands it off to Nimley, and he is stacked up immediately. Well, you talk about nowhere to go. There was absolutely nowhere for him to go. And you got to give Travis Bowie a lot of credit there. Comes off the defensive line, makes a big stop.
Yeah, good job right there by Bowie, getting a big tackle for a loss of yards. Giving a third and pretty long for, not pretty long, 3rd and 11 for St. Charles.
But a tough situation because you're backed up in your own end, so it's not necessarily 2-down territory. If you're in the other end of the field, you got a couple of shots. They get one shot out of here. Yarngo is split out to the left, or to the right, rather. There are 3 receivers out to the left. Bryant wants to come up top to Yarngo, and he's got one-on-one coverage, and Richard Kenny pushed him before the ball got there, and it's going to be pass interference against the Hawks. No, there's no doubt about it. I mean, that was the shove was there before the football got there. There's no arguing the call, that's for sure.
That's a big break right there for St. Charles. You know, moving the chains right there on trying to take advantage of Hartley penalties.
You know, Richard Kenny is a guy that quarterbacks have tried to pick on this year. You know, Watterson tried to do it a bit. DeSales went after him in that way, and this is the first time that they go in his direction. And he and Yargo are very similar in size, because Richard has gone up against some. He's gone up against some bigger receivers this year. There's a timeout on the field, and it's an official timeout. So it was 3rd down and 11 on that pass interference call. And I think that Brad Birchfield is, I think he was asking about that that call and the placement of the ball, but 15-yard penalty on that. That was 3rd down and 11, so they do get the first down. And the ball is at the just about at the 40-yard line. We'll call it the 39-yard line. And Bryant rolling right. He puts it in the air, and he's got a man wide open down the right sideline who makes the catch, and that's Nick Benison, the junior tight end, making the catch and then getting knocked out of bounds, and that's inside the Hartley 40-yard line.
Good job by St. Charles right there, taking advantage of an open man and bringing it down the field and trying to threaten right now.
And they are threatening right now, throwing the football and going back to the right side of the field. Richard Kenny checks out of the game right now. Put 3 running backs in there and hand it off to the first man, and again, the Hawks not fooled. There was no room whatsoever. Daniel Tucson just plugging whatever hole there may have been there. Well, they're moving the ball by throwing the ball. Running the ball, not so much here. See if they go back to the air. And a 2nd down and 10. They spread it out and look to do so. Got 4 receivers in there. Bring Yarngo in motion. Bryant looking left this time. Throws to Yarngo. And he's got the first down. And Niall Johnson does a nice job of getting a hold of him long enough to drag him out of bounds. It's another first down.
Bryant's doing a nice job showing off his arm and making some really nice passes right now.
Yeah, they're just spreading it out and somewhat getting the Hawks guessing, and that's why Brad Birchfield has called his first time out of this second half right now, not liking what he's seeing there in the way that St. Charles is picking them apart a bit with the passing game right now. So that'll stop the clock with 10:01 remaining here in the second half. Glad to have you with us tonight here on the Bishop Hartley YouTube channel, and this game produced by fine students at the Ohio Media School and Score on Air. I mean, they're working hard here tonight. Not everything's gone right tonight by any means. And my guy Will here, he's been working hard, and he just ate a cold dinner, as a matter of fact, because he's had that thing sitting there for hours, and he had to get everything straightened out before he could have that. Right? Right. Cold chicken is still good, but it's cold. But Will and everybody else on our crew tonight doing a great job of bringing this one to you, as they do each and every week. Empty backfield for Bryant. And he takes a snap and he wants to run. And he may want to, but there's nowhere to go. Marcellus Parker was the first guy to get there and make contact. It's going to be a gain of about 2. So it is a 3rd down coming up here. Gino, that's a big play right there defensively. They try to catch napping a little bit, and the defense is ready for that one.
Yeah, good job by Parker right there. Noticing Bryant trying to be mobile right there, and I'm just getting the stop.
So now they spread it out again with an empty backfield. Bryant looking to the right, and he's got time, and he makes a throw, and that is caught, and then the tackle is made immediately. So Benison was the man that caught the ball, and Deontay Hubbard in coverage makes a nice tackle. And that's a short gain, and that's going to leave a fourth down and 6, rather. Situation here for St. Charles, you're down by 19 points, you got to go for it. Carter Bryant back in the shotgun. He's got Hirschberg there with him. Hirschberg picks up the pass rush, and the pass itself falls incomplete. It was intended for Doogie James. So the incomplete pass means a turnover on downs, and Hartley will go back to offense with 8:33 remaining here in the third quarter of this game. And Gino, that's big because they were marching down the field. They had a couple of pass plays. They had the Hawks guessing a little bit, but Hartley comes out of that timeout just the way that they wanted to, and they make a couple of big stops.
Yeah, it was a good poise by Hartley defense right there, stopping a threatening drive from St. Charles.
Richard Kenny goes in motion. They pitch him the ball, and he's looking for room on the right side, and he finds a little bit. He had to put the brakes on. Came to almost a complete stop, and then got the block and accelerated to go back through the hole. Turns that into a 9-yard gain, 2nd down and 1.
9 yards on the play, 2nd down and 1.
Pretty good job by Richard Kenny on a play that could have broken down very quickly there. Now Johnson is the tailback once again with Marcellus Parker, the up man in the formation. He'll hand it off to Johnson. He's looking for some blocks, and he bounces to the outside where he's got them, and he's knocked out of bounds at 38. Isaiah Yargo making the tackle on the far sideline. This is the Niall Johnson that we're used to seeing. Again, last week, DeSales had him contained. He didn't get the blocking then that he's getting tonight. He's making the most out of what he gets tonight.
Yeah, he's been doing a pretty good job right now. Obviously, Larson, he was tremendous, but he's still shown that he's good running back in either way.
First down for the Hawks. Trey Saunders and Peyton Underwood comparing notes here before Underwood steps under center. Saunders goes in motion. They pitch him the football. Off the left side and comes around, breaks one tackle. That does slow him down. There's a flag on the play, though, and he'll be stopped at about the 42-yard line. It's going to be holding against the offense. So for Trey to get around the corner, his teammates committed a penalty. And that'll back him up 10 yards. So the ball's at the 31-yard line.
25 in. Marcellus Sneak.
First down, 17.
17 yards to go for the first down now.
Treat it like 15. Run it.
Kenny goes in motion. Turn around, and Peyton Underwood rolls to the right, and he throws. Wide open Trey Saunders, and he's got the first down across the 50-yard line. There's a flag on the play, and Saunders is down to the 35. But there is the illegal block.
Underwood's pass is complete to Trey Saunders. Flags down on the play.
Well, the flags are at the 48-yard line. So Trey Saunders had a big gainer there, but it's going to come back.
What's up, Coretta? Sambo. Sure. 91. Run it. He's standing down the corner.
So it's going to be placed at about the 39-yard line.
Ball is placed at the 39-yard line. Number 7. Where it's first and 8.
So still first down. Underwood turns, Hands it off. Saunders trying to cut back and find room up the middle. He's only going to find about a yard and a half.
67 on the cue, man on. 34. 67.
And Trey Saunders getting a lot of work on this drive. Rightfully so. He's had there not been penalties, they would be in St. Charles territory right now. Second down play. They'll pitch it to Parker. Gets the wheels going, and up the far sideline goes Marcellus Parker. He is inside St. Charles territory now, as he's down to the 43-yard line.
Yeah, we were talking about him in the first half, and we're seeing that he's making some big runs now in the second half.
Yes, he is. And that time it was perfect for him. They gave him a chance to get to the outside, get his speed picked up, and he's so dangerous when that happens. First down and 10. Under 6.5 to go here in the third quarter. Hartley up by 19 points, 29-10 is the score here. Underwood hands it off to Johnson. He lost the football, and St. Charles is finally going to recover it. Looked like they would recover it easily. Doogie James finally, as a third man, comes up there and gets it. And the Hawks turn it over at the 46-yard line of St. Charles.
St. Charles at their own 47-yard line.
It's a huge break for St. Charles right there because Hartley was threatening like it was in the last drive. St. Charles was threatening, and St. Charles got a huge fumble right there to get the ball back and prevent any more points from Hartley.
Yes, indeed, and the Hawks were their own worst enemy on that drive because they committed some penalties, took away some big plays from themselves, and then just on the exchange, they fumbled the football. So it's first down and 10 for St. Charles. Well, let's see what the game plan is going to be here because on that last drive they had, Carter Bryant had more success putting the ball in the air than they did running it. So, again, they're going to spread it out here with a 4-receiver set. Bryant taking that snap, and he hands it off, and Harshberg going up the middle. And he'll get a couple of yards out of that. He'll get about, he's going to wind up with 5.
8 to 5 on the play, second down 5.
And really, if you go back and, if you look at the last 2 games, Watterson spread it out. They like to throw the ball. They did throw the ball a lot on the Hawks. They didn't win the game. DeSales last week, they spread it out, but they spread it out and they ran it with a very a versatile quarterback and a guy that can run the ball himself. So that caused problems for the Hawks. And here's a pass, and that one gets tipped and it falls incomplete. Good job by Dylan Newsom.
Broken up by Dylan Newsom. Pass falls incomplete.
So, Gino, I would say if there's one, and as it goes on here, teams are going to look at this film week after week. The passing game, shutting down the passing game, something they need to get a little bit better at.
Oh, yeah. We saw that from 2 weeks ago with Watterson. The passing game was tremendous for him. He had a lot of time, obviously, letting him go, and the quarterback for Watterson, he definitely took advantage of it. So definitely just got to make up I don't know, I can't think of the word right now, but just make some adjustments and just keep learning as you go.
Doogie James on the reception and then able to find a few yards after the catch. And that is going to be close, but short of the first down. So it's 4th down and 1.
At the Bishop Hartley 44-yard line.
I'll give St. Charles credit. They were able to pick up the pass rush on that last play. And that's kind of the difference here. And you mentioned that. When the quarterback has time, no matter what league you're playing in or what level, if the quarterback has time, he'll make a play. And they haven't been able to get all the pressure they want on the quarterback. And there's movement, and there's the flag. And it's a false start on the part of the offense. And that'll take a 4th and 1 and make it a 4th and 6.
Makes it 4th and 6 at the 3.
Sometimes when you come running up from that linebacker position to that safety position, you go hard toward the line. You can get that guy on the other side to jump. And they got somebody to flinch right there with that very play. And so now they're going to have to punt the ball. So Nick Vestaya comes in to punt it. Richard Kenny and Trey Saunders drop back for the Hawks. And a lot of confusion on the part of St. Charles, and they're going to take a timeout with all that confusion that they have on the line right now. But again, they're just they were prepared to run the football, then they commit the penalty, and then that changed everything. And so they got that punt team on the field, and they just weren't sure what was going on. So to be sure, they go ahead and take the timeout so that they can make the right play here with 4:27 remaining in the third quarter. And St. Charles down by 19 points, 29-10 is the score in this game. So again, those little mistakes, they become big in a hurry because it changed the whole complexion. It forces you to take a timeout. You never know if that's something you're going to need a little bit later on in the game, but you won't have it because of a false start penalty.
Yeah, we're seeing the mistakes, penalties on both sides of the ball for Hartley and for St. Charles. Really playing a key role in this quarter.
Yeah, indeed. You're absolutely right.
Watch the fake. Watch to number 7.
So Bustaya ready to punt it away, and he gets this one away. Richard Kenny calls for a fair catch, and it goes off his hands. And is St. Charles going to recover another one here? Now the Hawks are saying that they have it, so we'll wait for the officials to make the indication. And indeed, Bishop Hartley has recovered it. But again, a tense moment or two there, and waiting to see whether or not the Hawks would have possession of the football.
Yeah, it was the second time today we've seen the returner's going to really handle the ball right there. And we saw it was a crazy night always when that happens, and it's happened twice, so even more crazy for this game.
It happened to each guy. Trey Saunders had to go off his hands the first time, and that time it was Richard Kenny. But the offense is back on the field. Looking at a first down at 10 as they hand the ball off, and Sumo Kessley, there he goes, up over the right side. He's got the first down. He keeps shedding tacklers, and finally he's taken down across the 35 at the 36-yard line. Doogie James had to come up there and make that tackle, but Sumo Kessley, we talked about the fact he hadn't been running the ball tonight. Well, he ran it right there, and he did it in a big way. Another first down at 10. They give it right back to the big man, and there's a big hole. Here he goes up the field. They knock the football out of his hands from behind, and it is going to be recovered by Alex Hirschberg. Well, Kessley just lumbering along there, and it looked as though he might go a long way, but football was punched out from behind. And St. Charles is able to make the recovery.
That's another huge break right there from St. Charles, because it looked like Kessley, with the way he was in the last run he had, nobody was going to stop him, and having that ball slipped out of his hands, that's huge for the Cardinals.
And we have a injured player. Doogie James is down on the field. And maybe just a cramping situation with him, but he's dangerous from that wide receiver spot, and not going to be able to put him out there at least for the very first play of this drive. So St. Charles hanging around here, making plays when they have to make plays. They didn't recover the fumble on the punt, but they do knock a ball free and recover the fumble just a couple of plays later. So James coming off the field under his own power, which is good news. And now, once again, St. Charles will go to work on offense. Well, first down at 10, and Carter Bryant finding some success and throwing the football here in this half. Finding success by spreading out the offense here. Bryant drops back into the shotgun formation. Hand it off, and immediate contact on the handoff. Once again, Bowie gets in there and gets the initial contact. Sam LeMay was in there as well.
You can tell right there from the moment that the handoff was right there, the Hartley defense just smothering right there, and a great job.
The way they played the run tonight, for the most part, is like they know what the play call is. I mean, they've been in that backfield, been in the backfield constantly on the run. Here's a snap. Bryant wants to keep it himself, and he puts his head down, and there's nowhere to go. LeMay is in there to make that tackle. Sumo Kesley getting in there, too. A good job here. Sending them backwards, not forwards. They're down at 13. Under 3 minutes to go here in the quarter. Well, look for Carter Bryant to throw the ball here. Not necessarily a long pass here, but maybe one of those little screens. Let's see. No, he will go with a long pass, and this one is going to fall incomplete. And he was looking for Yarngo over on the left sideline. Kason Sunderland was in coverage for the Hawks. And that's a good job by the defense. They forced a 3-and-out after coughing up the ball with a fumble.
Yeah, nice job right there. I'm showing poise on the Hartley defensive end, just to make up for offensive mistakes and gain the ball back pretty quickly.
Yeah, very quickly. Oh, Trey Saunders and Richard Kenny again are back to take the punt. And this one, a line drive kick. And this time they will just let it bounce and take it wherever it stops rolling, which will be at the 28-yard line. So that's where Hartley will go to work with a first down and 10. And St. Charles has another player down on the field at the end of the play, way back at their own 37-yard line.
76 on the cue.
So the Hawks will get another minute or two to talk about this before snapping the ball for the first play. Well, it's ironic, Gino, because it looks like it's might be another cramping situation, and you see that so many times in the early part of the season. Again, for St. Charles, this is the first game of the year that they are playing, but even in the first couple of weeks, we didn't see nearly the amount of cramping that you get used to seeing when the weather's warm. It's not warm tonight, and it's cooled off here tonight, but it seems like we always spend the first 2 or 3 weeks of the season talking about that kind of a, not an injury, but the stoppage, and haven't had it a lot this year.
Yes, I remember that last year. There was a lot of that during the games, and it's good to see that there's not as much cramping this year.
Yeah, so they put a couple of situations here tonight, so Sumo Kesley gets the ball right back after that fumble the last time, and he just does what he does. Gets himself a good 5 yards, and Hartley trying to pick up the pace here. And they snap the ball before St. Charles had everybody off the field. Kesley's got to pick up the first down as he goes off right tackle. And he gets it up to the 45-yard line.
76. Number 76, Ryan Coretta.
Ryan Coretta on the tackle. And this is going to be again, there were too many men on the field, and the penalties declined. And with the Hawks again, they decided to speed things up on St. Charles there, and again, this is about working through situations. Now we're waiting to get the chain set and the ball set here, and now going to have another conference of the officials. Not sure what the issue is here. I want to make sure that they want to get them all in on it, apparently. I don't know what the conversation is that's going on out there right now, but well, it took all that time just to signal for an illegal substitution and penalty decline. So here we go. First down and 10. Handed off to Kesley, and over the right side he goes, puts his head down, still on his feet, into St. Charles territory, and he is down to the 36-yard line. Good thing Sumo saved it up in the first half, Gino, because he's brought it in the second half.
Yeah, they're definitely relying on him heavily in these last 2 drives, and he's showing himself. These yards after contact has just been unreal. He's just mowing down the opposing St. Charles defense.
Yeah, he'll go to the sideline right now, and Marcellus Parker will get back in the backfield. He's got 3 touchdowns on the night. They hand the ball to him, and he goes up the middle, and again stays on his feet, and he's going to carry it all the way down to the 30-yard line. Denham Craig in there on the tackle.
6 on the play, second down and 4.
Second down and 4 as Parker gets a nice carry. Niall Johnson comes in now. Might have 3 different guys carried on 3 different snaps. And they will. Johnson. Good cut on the right side. He finds some open room, gets down near the 10-yard line before he is hauled down.
And we're seeing the depth of the Hartley running backs right here. 3 different running backs using these past 3 snaps and just continually getting the first downs.
They come right back up to the line. Dylan Newsom is set up as the lone running back, and they hand the ball to him, and he goes crashing toward the middle, and it's going to be at the 5-yard line.
Tackle and play by number 9, Sam Nord.
And as they get it to the 5-yard line here with a second down and goal, Parker checks back in.
The 5-yard line.
Get him in wing. He's on wing.
And actually, I've got Sherrod Bowens, who's back in. They put him on the right side of the line here. Let's see if they run that direction behind him. As Underwood takes it, and they hand it to Marcellus Parker, and he's able to vault his way into the end zone for a touchdown. 5-yard touchdown run for Marcellus Parker, and he has cracked the end zone 4 times tonight.
Yeah, seeing that carousel running backs right there. Obviously, you lean on your main guy who's been like that the whole game at Marcellus Parker, who's just having himself a tremendous time.
Mr. Hartley with a 2-point extra point attempt.
And the Hawks again are going to go for 2. And they have Parker lined up as the lone running back. 4 receiver look here. Send Kenny in motion, snap the ball, pitch it to Richard, and he was trying to go to the outside, and he didn't cut back inside. He is tackled, and they do not convert. So they have to settle for 6, and they don't get the extra 2. 15.1 seconds remaining here in the third quarter, and Bishop Hartley is now on top of St. Charles by the score of 35-10. So the only blemish right there, Gino, is they didn't get the 2-point conversion.
Yeah, but overall they had a 2-point conversion earlier. That kind of makes up for it. So obviously 35-10 is not a lot to complain about still.
No, not a lot. There isn't a lot to complain about. You're right, and they used that whole stable of running backs there on that series. Kesley starting it off and getting the big yardage. Niall Johnson got a big carry in there, and before Marcellus got it, they even gave it to Dylan Newsom. So again, you start to it's all about the blocking on this team, and it always has been. But when you have different guys that you can put in there in different types of running backs, Sumo Kesley's a huge guy, and he's just running guys over. Marcellus Parker, he's big, and he's doing that. But then you've got Johnson, who is more of a guy of quickness. And then when you incorporate the 2 guys that line up as receiver that you can bring and hand the ball off to as well, that's a lot of weapons.
Yeah, it's just not the fact that they have depth, but it's just so much different ways of having that depth, as we just talked about with size, speed, and agility. It's just something that Hartley just really relies upon.
And again, last week they showed they could throw the football, and that the speedsters and Saunders and Kenny can run to a spot there. Peyton Underwood can just throw it up and let those guys run underneath it. They haven't had to do that tonight. They haven't thrown the ball very much. No need when your running game is working the way it is for the Hartley Hawks tonight. Here is Ryan Hawk on a kickoff, and a little pooch kick to the right side, and this is going to bounce, and Richard Kenny couldn't quite get there in time. It's a nice little chip shot kick.
Coach kick is covered by St. Charles. 1st and 10 for the Cardinals.
So St. Charles ready to go. 1st down and 10 with 14 seconds remaining here in the third quarter of this game.
Kick is covered by number 48, Mason O'Reilly.
It was Mason O'Reilly that was able to get on that football and set up St. Charles here on their own 33. Bryant has 3 receivers out to his right as he takes the ball and hands it off. And again, the Hawks not fooled. Daniel Tucson and Avion Murphy were right there. And that's a big loss. That's a loss of 4. And that's going to end the third quarter. So St. Charles will have a chance to go to the sidelines and think about it here. They're trailing 35-10. This is Bishop Hartley football.
Chef Jimmy at the TAT, corner of James and Livingston, says, come on down. The TAT's delicious Italian-American specialties are so nice. And the Corovas are going above and beyond to keep their guests and employees safe. Try this dine-in special, pasta dinner for 2, with soup, salad, bread, and dessert, just $29.95. Or this carry-out deal, family pasta dinner for 4, with salad, pasta, meatballs, and bread for $27.99. Add a bottle of select wine, and you're out the door with a dinner for 4 for $35.99 with wine. The dining room's open and safe, but if you're not comfortable dining in, call ahead and order TAT curbside carryout. The TAT at the corner of James and Livingston, 614-236-1392, where the Corova family makes you feel welcome like nobody else.
Getting ready to start the fourth quarter here at St. Charles. 35-10. The Hartley Hawks have the lead. Carter Bryant ready to go to work here. And he's looking at a second down and 14 as he drops back. Time starting to run out. Goes with a screen pass. And that to the running back, Fred Nimley, and there's not any room there for him. That did not develop. Didn't have the blockers out in front of him.
Also 3 to play, third down and 15.
So that'll make it a third down and 15 play as the Hawks had that covered. Keelan Smith, sophomore defensive lineman, checking in, and Daniel Tucson goes to the sidelines here. Words not said very often when it comes to Daniel. Bryant taking the snap. He's got some time. He throws it deep downfield. He's got a man, but he didn't get the ball on the right side of him. It was underthrown, and it was on the wrong side of Isaiah Yarngo, and the incomplete pass will make it fourth down and 15. No choice for St. Charles but to kick this ball away.
They decide deep to punt for St. Charles.
Well, Gino, they decided to take their shot and
Trey Saunders back.
Couldn't complete it.
That's all you got to do with 35-10 game. You got to make chances that normally you wouldn't make in such close circumstances.
Trey Saunders going back deep. And as he lets this ball hit the turf, it's going to be downed by Hirschberg. And so the Hartley offense gets set to go back to work here, up by 25 points in the fourth quarter. And let's see, I'm watching intently here because we're at that point in the game where I think you're going to see some different faces. And it starts at quarterback as Bryce January is now in. January, the junior, gets up under center, sends Richard Kenny in motion, hands the football off, and it's going to be good for a couple of yards. Trey Saunders taking a handoff there. But an opportunity to get another quarterback in the game here and get some reps. And, you know, Gino, it's anytime you're playing under the lights on Fridays, you learn a lot.
Yeah, it definitely helps give good experience to the younger players for Hartley that, you know, don't really see as much playing time, and just to give them on their heels and what a big game situation's like.
January with the offset eye behind him, pitches it to Niall Johnson. Up the left side he goes, and he finds a hole, and he is across midfield and inside the 40-yard line before he is brought down. Just a good job there by Niall Johnson, finding the opening and making it happen. So, again, there's still that same stable of running backs in there right now for the Hawks. January on the handoff. Trey Saunders trying to bounce it all the way to the outside, and he's got some room. Up the near sideline, cuts back to the inside. He's inside the 20-yard line and down almost to the 10. Good job by Trey Saunders, and now they're going to bring some of those big blockers back in and look to continue to put that ball on the ground.
Dude, you got to do a better job of bringing change. 24 hand.
Dylan Newsom comes into the game now, and Trey Saunders is just going to line up as the deep man in the I formation here. January hands it off. Saunders has blockers, and they seal it off, and he goes into the end zone for the touchdown. 12 yards on the touchdown run for Trey Saunders. Well, different quarterback, same result. All he had to do was manage to drive, clean handoffs, and Bryce January does just that.
Yeah, good offensive drive right there by Hartley, getting those big runs, setting it up for the touchdown.
So for Trey Saunders, that's his second touchdown run of the night. And Ryan Hawk will look to add the extra point here. High snap. Good job to get that down. And it's still up and good. So he stays perfect, and it didn't help him on the snap. I'll tell you that. But that's a good job of concentration by Ryan Hawk to be able to stay with it and put that through. So it's 41-10. 9:35 remaining here. And we'll be in a running clock situation now, Gino. Anytime it's 30 or more points in the differential, the clock will only stop for the timeout or change of possession. So St. Charles, again, this is about, it's almost like a working practice here. They want to get the ball down the field. They want to work on things. They want to set themselves up to finish this game strong tonight.
Yeah, 100%. And you got to give a lot of credit to the Hartley offense so far. This has been their best offensive outing already. Scored the most points, 42, that they've had in their previous 3 games. And so that's a good sign for Hartley. But if you're St. Charles, you just want to keep working on things, especially for your first game, and just, fine-tuning.
Yeah, for the Hawks, great point you make. I mean, the 42, they're scoring. They're doing it not really in different ways this evening. They're just running the football. They're blocking well. They're running well. But, this, I think if you asked anybody before the game coming in here and just the crazy situation, the way it sets up, if you would have asked them, do you expect a win like this? If they were telling the truth, they would say yes, because they're 3 games battle-tested coming into this against good teams, and they're getting a team that is starting the season 3 weeks late and played but 1 scrimmage. So, this is what they hope to see. There's still been some things that have happened in this game that I'm sure that they didn't like to see, but it's all about working through those things. And the squib kick is going to be brought back to the 34-yard line. So Denham Craig on that return. I've got a feeling I need to have the roster in hand here, because I think I'm going to see a lot of numbers that we haven't seen throughout the course of the night. Some are the same, some are different. But we get some different players, some different opportunities right now. Carter Bryant takes the ball, and he runs to the right. And he's trying to get all the way over toward the sideline, and he could not do it. Deshaun Tucker was right there, and he was met, his teammate, Gerard Bowens, was there too. And it turns out to be a long run for about a half a yard, maybe.
Yeah, nice job by the D-line right there, just not giving Carter Bryant any room to run, and ultimately just giving very few yards.
So it'll be second down. Still call it 10.
Where is the table?
Nimley's in the backfield. 4 receivers set. Bryant takes it away. Didn't take the snap. It was high, and he has to go back and fall on the ball at the 20-yard line.
At the St. Charles 20-yard line, where it would be
Just, it's just when you don't need that kind of stuff to happen is when it starts to happen, right, Gino?
Yeah, absolutely. That's just something that you don't want from St. Charles for St. Charles to do right there. Bringing them back even more in a fourth and really long right now, or third and really long. Excuse me.
Yeah, they're all the way back at the 20-yard line. They've got to get to the 44.
It's third and a mile. Third and a mile.
Back those guys off. Yes. Will's pressing.
There you go, 15. Get out of there.
Here's a snap. Bryant trying to scramble around and buy some time, and time runs out. And he is taken down, and the ball ends up rolling out of bounds. Good job by Will Miller, senior, over there and in on that play. So it's going to be fourth down here. And they will have to kick it away, and the Hawks will have a couple of different kick returners. Will Heskett, he's a junior. He drops back deep, and Aiden Turner, who also is a junior, is standing in midfield here, ready to take this kick. Hawks are up 42-10. Here's a snap.
Rory Walston and Turner back for Bishop Hartley.
Turner lets it bounce in front of him, and St. Charles is going to down it at the 48-yard line. So the Hawks about to go back on offense. And it's time for me to tell you again about Huddle and Price Orthodontics and the great job that they do and the great things that they do. And one of the greatest things they do is make good relationships with their patients. And they literally do care about everybody that comes into their practice. I can tell you firsthand because I've been there. I've been there as a parent, and I've been there as a patient. So to find out what they do and to get a free consultation, go to their website at lovethatsmile.net. Huddle and Price Orthodontics. Bryce January back under center. First down and 10 for the Hawks. High formation. They pitch it to the tailback and up the middle for a first down. As he gets inside the 40-yard line is Joseph Wooten. He's a freshman running back. Tell you what, Joey's a guy that I know that they're looking into the future. They think he's going to be a big part of what they do here in a couple of years. So you get a chance to get a freshman into a varsity game like this on a Friday night, you let him get in there. Here's the pitch, and it's Bowens' time, dragging a would-be tackler with him, and that's going to be good for about 8 yards. And when I say dragging, he was dragging. Jackson Congrove had him wrapped up and couldn't bring him down.
Yeah, that's a good play right there. Good run. And just continually just taking time off the clock, especially since you're in the driver's seat now.
January again on the snap. Bowens over the right side, again breaks the tackle, and he easily is to the 25-yard line. They'll put it at the 24-yard line, and Sherrod's got a first down. Well, the numbers may have changed. The blocking has not.
Absolutely, and that's good for the Hartley offense right there, just looking into the future and seeing that these guys are stepping up.
Of course, they still have Daniel Tucson out there lined up at right end, so on the right side there, they were running behind him, and here goes Bowens. He takes it again. He's got another first down, trying to break tackles, and he's going to be down the 5-yard line. Delfino coming over and making the big tackle, and it was a big hit when it was all said and done. They're going to place the ball at about the 1 here. And the return and hand it off, and this time not as much running room there. In fact, no running room there for the Hawks. Sherrod Bowens.
No gain on the play. Second down goal.
Right there.
So it is a second down and goal coming up.
All right, run it.
Joey Wooten set up as a tailback here. And they'll pitch it to him. And he gets caught in the backfield and spun down. So that's a nice job there by George Cottrell.
Third and goal for Hartley at the St. Charles 2-yard line.
Mississippi 102.
So it is now third down and goal for the Hawks. They've gotten to the doorstep. They haven't been able to get in. Line up Tucson on the left side now. Send Bowens that way too. And they pitch the ball to Joey Wooten, and Wooten able to sidestep his way through and into the end zone for the touchdown. Joey Wooten winds up with the touchdown for Hartley. Goes in from 2 yards out. And now the Hawks will try to add the extra point here.
Tell me it's pussy.
I don't think there's a time.
Hey, what about the running clock?
All right, Hawk is going to attempt the extra point. Trying to make it 49-10 here. And Hawk puts it up, and he puts it through. And so with under 3 minutes to play, the Hawks do have that 49-10 lead. I want to remind you to stay tuned after the game for the player of the game. It's presented by Mojo Sports Gear. For all your custom apparel needs, give Mojo Sports Gear a call at 614-864-6656, or you can visit their website at mojosportsgear.com. Easiest player of the game of the year so far tonight, I do predict.
Oh, yeah.
You sure? Mm-hmm. Looked like I caught you off guard for a half second there. What's happened in this game? Oh, yeah, now I got it, right? No doubt. No doubt. I'll tell you what, the Hawks are about to even their record at 2-2 on the year. And Gino, last I checked, all I know is that you've done those 2 games.
Yeah.
So I don't know what you're doing next week. And next week will be an interesting game, playing Bishop Watterson at Bishop Watterson. And normally, in normal years, they don't play football right there at the school, but they are doing it this year, so that'll be a different experience.
Yeah, I think it's a game that Watterson's got to be really excited. They probably think it's a game that they definitely thought they could have won at Hartley territory, so I think to have them come into their building and actually their field is something that they're really excited about.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. I'm sure that they are. And I'm going to check here and see, because they're playing DeSales tonight. See what I can come up with on that. Anyway, Ryan Hawk's ready to kick it off. A squib kick down the middle of the field. And St. Charles picks it up and immediately goes right down. Good coverage there by the Hawks.
Where's it?
Again, that clock will just start winding, and St. Charles won't be able to stop it. Well, DeSales beat Watterson tonight, 28-22 is the final in that game. So that puts DeSales at 3-0 in the CCL. Carter Bryant handing the ball off. And Nimely gets up over the 35-yard line. He's going to get himself first down. 11-yard run there. Placed the ball at the 38, and the St. Charles offense coming back to the line here. Ken Hartley has, I don't think there's a single starter left in this game now at this point, nor should there be, but a good job of penetration by the Hawks. Nimely got the handoff and immediately got taken down. So the clock continues to turn with minute 15 left. Running back was banged up a little bit on that play, so going to send Hirschberg back into the game. Isaiah Yango steps back in here and line up as a receiver in the final minute of this fourth quarter. Here's the handoff, and Hershog is taken down. Again, not much running room. The guy that hit him high was Will Miller. So that'll bring up a 3rd down and 12. And more than likely the last play of this game, quite frankly, under 30 seconds to go here. Well, at one point, St. Charles was as close as being down 14-7 in this game, but the Hawks had their running game going all night. Blocking was good. The runners were great. Here's a quick handoff and a tackle right at the line of scrimmage. And that's the way this one is going to end tonight. The Hartley Hawks come on the road, and with authority, they beat St. Charles. The final score in tonight's game is 49 for the Hawks and 10 for St. Charles. Come back and give you the player of the game as we continue. This is Hartley Hawks football.
Chef Jimmy at the TAT, corner of James and Livingston, says, come on down. The TAT's delicious Italian-American specialties are so nice and nicer, and the Carovas are going above and beyond to keep their guests and employees safe. Try this dine-in special, pasta dinner for 2, with soup, salad, bread, and dessert, just $29.95. Or this carry-out deal, family pasta dinner for 4, with salad, pasta, meatballs, and bread for $27.99. Add a bottle of select wine, and you're out the door with the dinner for 4 for $35.99 with wine. The dining room's open and safe, but if you're not comfortable dining in, call ahead and order TAT curbside carryout. The TAT at the corner of James and Livingston, 614-236-1392, where the Corova family makes you feel welcome like nobody else.
Good evening, good times at TAT.
Bob Boyd Auto Family in Lancaster treats the needs of each individual customer with paramount concern. You have high expectations and specific needs when buying a car. Bob Boyd enjoys the challenge of meeting and exceeding those standards each and every time. Allow Bob Boyd Auto to demonstrate their commitment to excellence. They have an experienced sales staff eager to share their knowledge and enthusiasm with you. Browse the inventory from anywhere by going to bobboyd.com. While you're there, schedule a test drive and check out financing options. Come experience the Bob Boyd difference.
The Central Ohio Spinal Bifida Alliance is a nonprofit organization that provides services such as annual fundraisers, helping with medical expenses, vehicle modifications, and much more. This year they are hosting a virtual 5K which allows you to do it on your own time, wherever and however you want to. The event is October 2nd through 4th, and 100% of the proceeds will go to the organization, which is completely run by volunteers. Visit storeonair.com and click the link at the top of the page to register. The deadline is September 27th, and everyone who signs up receives a shirt and a goodie bag. Cosmic 5K. Catch us if you can.
Well, tonight, the Hawks a big win, 49-10. They win at St. Charles this evening. Time now for our Mojo Sports Gear Player of the Game. Give Mojo a call at 614-864-6656 or visit mojosportsgear.com. Gino, can't be any easier. Who's your player of the game tonight?
Marcellus Parker all the way. 4 touchdowns. There was no other choice. And we talked about how last year, he had a pretty good game given the fact that a lot of the seniors really dominated in that respect. But he definitely showed himself to take that game last year and make it look like it was an all right game.
Yeah, Dylan Newsome returns tonight, and he gets in the backfield, allows Marcellus to take a bit of a different role, a role that he's very familiar with, as you just said. And he got a lot of touches here this evening. He did well. But again, as we talked about in that fourth quarter, it was a blocking tonight. I mean, they had the opportunity to run the football, whereas last week maybe they weren't able to run inside as much as they did here tonight. But give the guys on the offensive line a lot of credit.
Yeah, the offensive line did a great job. You know, they play just as important as a players in these games as the running backs, because it's a team effort. You got to have everybody coming in and playing at their best in order to win like they did tonight. And overall, offensive line and Marcellus Parker were great.
So the Hawks improved now to 2-2 on the season. Back to league play again next week. It's league play the rest of the way. 2 more games in the regular season. Next week they will be at Watterson to take on the Eagles. And Bishop Watterson lost to Bishop Hartley 28-21 just a couple of weeks ago. Jacob Hoying had that offense going, and you come down to that last drive of that game where he ran the football and he got tackled before he got to the first down marker. I'm sure he's been stewing on that for a couple of weeks. They do lose tonight to DeSales, so Watterson will be hungry next week.
Yeah, they've been losing some close games to the Sales, obviously twice this year, and the Hartley. They definitely want to come in this game. Being at Watterson, this is a game that they just it's a must-win for them, because they want to stay alive in the CCL at least to win there, because everybody makes the playoffs this year. But obviously in just a pride sense also, because I think if you're Jacob Hoying, you know, you've never beaten Hartley before in these 4 years, so I think just to have the opportunity one more time is very important for him.
Yeah, and normally in a regular year you wouldn't get the second chance. You'd only get one chance, and that one got away, but you're right. Gets a second chance. He'll try to make the most of it next week. The Hawks have got to be ready to pass cover next week against the Eagles. But next week is next week. For tonight, they're going to enjoy this one, a 49-10 win over St. Charles. That's going to do it for us. For Gino Hoffman, I'm Bob McElligott saying good night, and thanks for being here. This is Bishop Hartley Football.
This has been Hartley Hawks Football. Tonight's game was brought to you by Bob Boyd